Lama Tien, Lama Tien, Lama Tien, Sangye Kungi, Yeshe, Dechen, Chogu, Rochi, Deni, Juichen, Lama, Kungi, Ranchi, Tadu, Lama, Chogi, Kula, Nine, Soa, Demso, Dichi, Badu, Kundu, Jeme, Jesu, Joji, Yeshe, Yume, Rana, Gyawa, Yenla, Dune, Nini, Jichen, Lama, Gungi, Juchi, Tadu, Lama, Loncho, Zogu, Nine, Soa, Demso, Dichi, Badu, Kundu, Jeme, Jesu, Sochi, Chine, Duche, Kaji, Nanso, Jupe, Roga, Dini, Jichen, Lama, Loncho, Zogyu, Namyu, Lama, Jupe, Kula, Ningne, Soa, Demso, Dichi, Badu, Kundu, Jeme, Jesu, Sochi.
Amitabha Buddhist Centre was born out of the Guru's inspiration. Looking back, that was how we came into being. Lama Zopa Rinpoche has told us how it all happened. Rinpoche said he was on retreat in India when he developed an overwhelming urge to visit Singapore. He said the sensation was so strong it felt like the need to throw up. He found that he couldn't ignore this feeling and that he had to come to Singapore, where he saw that the Buddha's teachings would soon impact and benefit many people. Soon after his retreat, Rinpoche made his way to Singapore, arriving for the first time around 1986. During that visit, Rinpoche got in touch with Li Kui Hok, whom he had met previously in Nepal, at a World Fellowship Buddhist conference. Li Kui Hok, who was then the president of the Chengbing Buddhist Society, was able to provide Rinpoche with the necessary help that paved the way for Rinpoche to introduce the first FPMT teacher to Singapore. After his first visit, Rinpoche sent over the former Venerable Dieter from Germany, who took the early steps of offering the Dharma in English through short talks and lectures. The budding interest in Buddhism, based on Lama Tsongkhapa's teachings, continued to grow as Venerable Thubten Chodron arrived as the next teacher in 1988. Classes were held in different venues, one of which was the Buddhist library. The teachings made a special impression on one of the new students, Alice Chua. Relying on the guidance of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Alice decided to take a bold step forward, to formally establish the group as a Buddhist society. As the planning of Amitabha Buddhist Centre got underway, Alice roped in a newcomer called Tan Hap Cheng. She persuaded Hap Cheng that his help was needed to run the new organization. With just 30 members, Amitabha Buddhist Centre was officially registered on 1st January 1989. At the first annual general meeting on 19th March, Hap Cheng was voted in as the first president. In those first years, ABC set up in a single-story bungalow in Senate Estate at number 51 Butterfly Avenue. Several of the committee chipped in to pay the rent. Rinpoche did not hold back on generosity or care for his new Singapore students. He sent over our first and still extremely precious statues from India, the Shakyamuni Buddha statue in 1988, and the statues of Lama Tsongkhapa and his spiritual sons in 1989. At the end of 1989, Rinpoche assigned a new resident teacher from America, Venerable Sangye Khandro. Venerable SK, as everyone called her, remained with ABC until 1999. She reached out to a youthful and eager audience who attended her meditation and Lamrim classes. She led groups in animal liberation and retreats, organized visits to nursing homes, and wrote advice columns for the newsletter. In the mid-90s, she requested Rinpoche to send a qualified Geshe to teach at ABC, so that students could further their understanding of Buddhist philosophy. Rinpoche agreed, and in 1995, Geshe Losang Dawa became our first resident Geshe. Geshe Dawa was from Seraje Monastery and spoke no English, so our translator, Venerable Damchu from Koban Monastery, served as interpreter when Geshe La taught. Geshe La stayed as resident teacher for 4 years, until 1999. By 1991, ABC had moved out of Butterfly Avenue and into new quarters at 494D Geylang Road, a walk-up apartment that was fully paid for through the kindness of benefactors and fundraising efforts. It was a tiny space that held everything that was essential: a prayer hall, a library, and an office. At 494D, our numbers began to swell into the hundreds. The little apartment could only hold so many at a time. For many years, our big events were held at various borrowed and rented sites throughout Singapore. From Yo's building in Teluk Blangah to the long-demolished Kim Seng Bowling Alley in River Valley Road to the Metta School in Simei, these larger spaces offered us plenty of much-needed room. Wherever we were, there has always been Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Throughout the 90s and into the new millennium, Rinpoche would visit often, guiding us with great patience and gently showing his students that compared to the Dharma, sleep was not so important. Rinpoche's prophetic vision about the growing interest in Buddha Dharma in Singapore was rapidly taking shape. By 1995, it was apparent that the premises at 494D were proving to be a tight fit for our growing membership. With Rinpoche's blessing, the time had come to build our own home. And so, the biggest project ever undertaken by Amitabha Buddhist Centre rolled into action. In 1998, Dennis Lau spearheaded the purchase of a piece of land, 3,800 square feet at number 44, Lorong 25A in Geylang. The land consecration ceremony was performed on 10th May 1998, with none other than Lama Zopa Rinpoche presiding, together with Lama Kunchok, Geshe Dawa, and Lama Lundru. Rinpoche entrusted the task of overseeing the design and construction of the 7-story building to Sim Hong Boon, architect, longtime ABC member, and trustee. From the time that the idea for a new building was mooted, many fundraising campaigns were launched, up to 2004, to raise the capital needed to turn the dream into reality. We have too many to thank for the 7 solid stories that we now call our home. Hundreds of very kind and generous benefactors supported our vision and contributed the funds to make all this possible. $5 million went into producing the dignified and iconic Tibetan-inspired address that we occupy today. Great personal sacrifices were made of time, skills, and energy. Years passed with huge life lessons gleaned from fighting the maras of doubt and uncertainty, as slowly but surely a tower of steel and concrete emerged. After moving out of 494D in 2002, a period of transition followed as we took temporary shelter a short distance away at number 3 Lorong 15, smack in the red light district of Geylang. If more than 60 people turned up in the Gompa, it became cramped and uncomfortable. But for 5 years we made do, and meanwhile prayed that our new home would soon materialize. The less than ideal environment did not dampen our enthusiasm for the Dharma. Geshe Tupten Chuni had arrived in 1999 as our second resident Geshe, ensuring that students could continue to learn from the best and most qualified. It was at Lorong 15 that ABC started our first basic program. The FPMT had launched this comprehensive course on Buddhist philosophy around 2001. In 2003, Lama Zopa Rinpoche recommended that ABC students should embark on the program. Taking Rinpoche's advice, the executive committee requested Geshe Chini to teach the basic program at ABC. Geshe Lao agreed, with the aid of our own newly trained Tibetan translator, Venerable Gyurme. The course began in August 2003, drawing in a wave of fresh faces through our doors. As the students pressed on in pursuit of Dharma knowledge, so did construction of the new building approach its culmination. On 19th May 2007, with grand ceremony and celebration, Lama Zopa Rinpoche officially opened Amitabha Buddhist Centre very own building and led us to a new chapter of our evolving story. Our 7 years so far at number 44 Lorong 25A Geylang has seen us mature as an institution of Dharma learning, values and practice, offering the Dharma and its resulting happiness to many. The centre has maintained a membership of around 1,000 since 2007. It is nothing else but our common interest in the Dharma, our close bonds with our gurus, and our shared aspiration for ultimate enlightened happiness that holds us together. Just this formula alone has enabled us to accomplish many a miracle.
If you were to ask me what would be the key ingredient for success of Amitabha Buddhist Centre, then I would unquestionably say it's due to our precious Guru Lama Zopa Rinpoche. It's Lama Zopa Rinpoche's advice, inspiration, teaching and guiding hand that has led us all these 25 years, from its inception to the present, and that has inspired and drawn in students and gave them the precious teachings of the Dharma. So it's actually this precious quality of the most holy, precious heart Guru, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, that has actually pulled together, gelled together, inspired the students to come together, to give their time, their energy, and their hearts and their minds actually to the path of the Dharma.
Following our beloved Guru's example as much as we can, we have championed the cause of giving to others in more ways than one. When the SARS epidemic broke out in 2003, we organized a grand puja at our annual Vesak celebration to pacify heavy obstacles for the benefit of everyone in Singapore. It has become a time-honored tradition to hold a grand celebration of the Buddha's birth, enlightenment and passing, which for many years saw our beloved Lama Lundrup, the late ex-abbot of Kopan Monastery, welcoming the public to a festival of prayers and blessings. In January 2012, with the help of 300 volunteers, we hosted the Jade Buddha statue in Orchard Road and were overwhelmed by its success as thousands of visitors thronged the 2-week exhibition at Ngee Ann City. In over a decade of animal liberation practice, we have liberated 185 million lives at the last count. We support Rinpoche's Heart Project, the Serajay Food Fund, helping to offer 3 meals a day, 365 days a year, to 2,600 monks who live and study in Serajay Monastery. To make the Dharma easily available to others, we have printed thousands of Dharma books and distributed them for free. Our community outreach touched a new level when we began organizing Jinpa for our community in 2013, where we deliver basic necessities to over 200 needy households across Singapore. Since 2002, our hospice volunteers have worked with Dover Park Hospice to care for the dying. That experience occasionally found its way closer to home when volunteers from our care group tended to our members in their final days. Our service to others indeed extends not just to the closing days of life, but to its early years as well. Since 1997, ABC has managed a nursery-cum-kindergarten in Tampines, ABC Children's Place. The project was initiated by one of our members, Lee Kian Guan, who urged the center to get involved with early childhood education. Into its 17th year, ABC Children's Place has helped impart the universal values of compassion and social responsibility to the next generation. But the best gift that ABC has brought to others is the precious Dharma itself, offering the Buddha's teachings from introductory courses to the advanced basic program, which is progressing through its second run. More than 100 students attend the basic program, taught by Ken Rinpoche Geshe-Chini, who since 2011 is not only ABC's resident teacher, but also the abbot of Kopan Monastery and Nunnery in Nepal. Whether at the beginner or advanced level, our classes have steadily drawn in many seekers of Dharma. As the Buddha taught, it is only by engaging in listening, reflecting, and meditating that we ourselves can transform our own minds and become genuine practitioners of Dharma. With Lama Zopa Rinpoche as our inspiration, we have come a long way since 1989. Beyond this 25th year milestone, the future that we envision is not impossible, because we have and are continuing to create the cause to be a center of learning for the Buddha Dharma, which is our ultimate source of happiness.
Lama Zopa Rinpoche once shared with me that Guru devotion is the core factor, the key pillar for success for all our Dharma realizations and Dharma practice. Without Guru devotion, it's like a city without electricity. Nothing works. So I would say Guru devotion to Lama Zopa Rinpoche has been really a central factor, yeah? Electricity, the power that drives the success of Amitabha Buddhist Centre.
Numberless things and big heart numberless big heart, and then to all my ABC family, or then you see started and developed to 25 years, up to now, up to today. Wow, what a development. So long. the many years. So long. Butterfly, yeah? Butterfly Avenue. That's past many years. Butterfly Avenue. Anyway, so many years. Thank you very much. Continue to your dedication. Really, I couldn't study. Couldn't study, and then many of those. Then put effort to develop the center, the conditions, to receive teachers, and then sentient beings to receive teachings, making all that, developing all that, better and better. Amazing. Really fantastic. Then, then not only developing the ABC, but, help many projects, especially Kapan, needs with Kapan, yeah, and I think, many of the projects, APMT, Thank you very, very much.
Rukurani jebu jowe la san kugi Rinchen chang chu sen cho jo pa jingi rupsi lang chen ya se chu pe ha ta ju pe ninto Gyawa gyatso Jesu Jupa jingi lupshin Dodang tenjo nato Shiru jitu chawe Yadre tawe yanze Zopa jingi lupshin Ji ji padu usola du Minje nyang yong gyogu gewa jingi lo shin lo se uma ti pe gaji doji rowa Gyume la kunidu jawa jingi lo shin Joshi supapu pe gyume rangja chenpa Nagurungi lama jawa jingi lo shin Jini drupa zepe de chen chugu londu Randan la me sansu chitu jingi roshi Drona janshen padu niwu jeme zune Paje boyi jipa jewe jingi lopshi